Texas and Nashville don't always see eye to eye when it comes to country music, but I think we can all agree on great music when we hear it. Ross Cooper recorded his unique sound at a studio in Lubbock, Texas, which you can find on his soulful new album, Give It Time. The project includes 11 tracks, all of which he wrote or co-wrote. We hooked up with Ross to hear how his life experiences are reflected in his music.
I rode bareback horses, and I started in high school, and then I rode bareback horses in college, and then I pro-rodeoed as a member of the PRCA. But I was always playing music like at the same time. You know, I think I started playing guitar when I was like 11 or 12. I played piano before that, and those were the two. It's always been music and rodeo. That's always been like the two, you know, big things in my life. That's how my parents met. My parents both rodeoed. My brother rodeoed, and then at a pro rodeo in Belton, Texas a couple of years ago. And I graduated college around the same time too. And I kind of had to make, you know, like a life decision too. It was always easy to rodeo and play music in college because the college part kept me in one place. But after I graduated, you know, these questions came up about where am I going to live? You know, if I'm going to move to Austin, am I going to rodeo? Am I going to play music? Am I going to do both? Like, how am I going to do both? And I decided to move to Nashville over Austin, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it.
And I'm leaving now from you. A Greyhound bus will take me far.
My favorite music is something that makes me feel something. You know, whether it's something about, you know, chord progression or melody or lyrics or whatever. Like, my favorite music makes me, it evokes some kind of an emotion, and that's what I want to do.
And I ain't stopping for the moon.
We approached every song on the album, you know, for what was best, what we thought was best for the song and not the album. You know, so song by song, it was just different as far as, you know, the kind of idea for production behind them. It was, you know, we're not going after a feel of an album so much as we're going after a feel of a song.
But don't take it too hard. I sent you a postcard. I'm running away.
Some of the songs that we brought in some utility instruments, like there's a song called "Running Away" that features some like muted trumpet stuff, and like that was a blast. You know, to in the studio just to kind of be a fly on the wall and watch. The guy's name is Nick Shute. He's from Lubbock, Texas. To just kind of watch how that transformed this song and how it kind of really brought it out. Like, that's awesome to me.
She was cruel at heart, cold and crass. Well, I couldn't say that we'd ever agreed. But what's done is done, and what's past is past.
Give It Time was also a blast to create, and actually when we first started tracking it, I was a little more hands-off on the production side than, I co-produced this record with a guy named John Taylor out of Lubbock, Texas, and I couldn't hear what the song was going to end up like, and he could. He could before, you know, it was done. And I was like, oh no, I don't like where this is going. And he's like, dude, shut up. Like, just let me, you know, kind of run with this. And so he did, and a few days later I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, you know. And it's great to have somebody, he knows way more than what he's doing than I do, but it's great to have you know, somebody who's outside of your own head to take an approach on a song that, you know, that you wrote, and I couldn't be more happy with the result of it.
'Cause it makes no difference to me when the pain starts, 'cause there's always hurt in life. And what won't kill us first, my friends? Give it time, just give.
My plan is to stay kind of booked throughout the summer and just kind of stay on the road as much as I can. I have some shows booked through May right now, and I hope to just kind of stack through June, July, and kind of try to bring this album to people.
Well, I hope Grace will call me friend. She'll pick me up and dust me off, and turn my callous into skin, send me on my way again.
Don't be afraid to kind of take that leap, because some pretty great things happen just by giving it a shot. If you do it, nothing works out, you can say, hey, I gave it a run. If you don't do it, man, I don't want to live with that thought in my head. So that's why I'm here.
We are about out of time for this week's show, but I want you to make sure that you don't forget those new self-titled discs we have up for grabs from Rochelle Lene. If you want to enter this week's drawing, head on over to InsideMusicRow.com to get signed up. If you are looking for more IMR, you can always check out Zeus.com and even download the cool app to take us with you on the go. Make sure you come on back next week when we talk with the Oak Ridge Boys about their first ever live album. We'll leave you today with this week's artist on the rise. Here are the Small Town Pistols with their first single as a duo. Here's Colorblind. Until next time, I'm Jennifer Vickery for Inside Music Row, and I'll see you again real soon.